Scaling your law firm doesn't have to be difficult. It's all about mastering a few key strategies, systems, and mindsets. Welcome to the Scalable Law Podcast, where we talk about how you can increase profit in your pocket and time in your calendar. My name is Carolee Fontanelli, and I have successfully scaled my firm so that it doesn't solely rely on me. Now I love teaching other law firm owners how to do the same. Let's transform your business starting now. Welcome to another episode of the Scalable Law Podcast. I'm so glad that you are here. Well, Law BizCon is done and dusted for 2026. It was an amazing 2 days, 1 night with over 200 guests at the conference. It was absolutely a blast. Everyone catching up, lots of growth and learning. Our theme this year was actually growth. And one of the things that I delivered was the law firm engine, which I thought I would share here on the podcast because it is so valuable. This is something that you will want to have your pen out for because you can follow along and really see where you're at in your law firm and work out what your next best steps might be. I think one of the things that is really hard is actually knowing what to tackle next. When it comes to your law firm growth, there are so many things that need attention, and it's really working out which one is the most important that needs attention right now. So this exercise is really going to help. The other thing to note is that the legal industry is changing really quickly. And through Scalable Law, I get to have lots of conversations with hundreds of law firm owners. And what's become very clear is this. Most law firm owners don't actually have a growth problem. They really do have an operational and structure problem. And it's true that behind every scalable law firm are a set of engine rooms that keep businesses operating smoothly. These engine rooms influence the way that you run your business. The bottom line is that weak engine rooms create friction, and friction is definitely not something that you want in your law firm. Strong engine rooms create momentum, which is exactly what you do want in your law firm. When I look at successful law firms, I don't see firms that are simply working harder. What I do see is firms that have built a really strong engine room behind the scene, or engine rooms, should I say. Most law firms focus heavily on legal work because that's what we do, right? And that's where our expertise is. But the firms that scale sustainably understand that growth is driven by systems operating underneath the business. That is what we call the law firm engine rooms. These engine rooms are the core functions that keep law firms running smoothly, consistently, and importantly, profitably. They are the areas responsible for attracting clients, converting inquiries, delivering legal work efficiently, managing teams, tracking performance, creating strong client experiences, and building systems that reduce owner dependency. When these engine rooms are weak, the firm feels chaotic. And I really hope that your firm doesn't feel chaotic. But if it does, there's opportunity here and that you're at the perfect podcast right now. If it feels chaotic, what ends up happening is that everything flows back to the owner and then decisions pile up and growth creates more pressure because you're a bottleneck. You just simply can't get to everything. But when the engine rooms are structurally sound, the firm operates differently. There's more clarity, more consistency, better performance from you and the team, and ultimately more freedom for you as the law firm owner. So that's what we are all about today. So we're going to break down the 8 engine rooms that sit underneath a scalable law firm, and we're going to explore how each one of them contributes to building a firm that can grow sustainably without relying on one person, usually you, the law firm owner, to hold everything together. So today is not about trying to learn everything. What we're going to do today in this short podcast is it's about identifying which engine rooms in your firm need the most attention right now, so you can focus on going about implementing what will move the needle right now in your business and make the biggest impact. So go and grab a pen and paper, pause it, and let's get stuck into it. So the first one is client acquisition. So this is all about how your firm constantly attracts the right clients. So this engine determines whether your firm has a steady flow of quality leads or relies on unpredictable referrals. And what I find is that a well-functioning client acquisition engine includes clear positioning and ideal client definitions, consistent marketing channels, lead tracking and data capture systems, and website and landing pages that are designed for conversion. So without this engine, growth becomes reactive, and firms often experience peaks and troughs in inquiries, and it makes cash flow really difficult. Not to add, it also creates stress for you as a law firm owner and sleepless nights. I have been there. I know what it's like. So the next engine room, which is really important, is intake and conversion. So this is how inquiries turn into paying clients. For many firms, they generate inquiries, but they lose revenue through a poor conversion process. The law firm might even not know what their conversion rate is, which is really important that you do. So what this engine includes is structured initial consultations, clear scripts or frameworks for client conversations, timely follow-ups, transparent pricing, and an engagement process. So how do your clients actually retain you and engage with you? A consistent intake system will reduce uncertainty for clients, and it will also improve your conversion rate. I have a saying, and it is that confused minds don't buy. So confused minds are not going to retain your firm. So making sure that there's that clarity is so important. In practice, the strongest firms treat consultations as a structured process rather than an informal decision or a legal advice session. All right, next up. So number 3 in this engine room, your third engine room, is your legal service delivery. So this is how the legal work is completed efficiently and consistently. This is where most firms focus, but often without any systemization at all. They leave their producer to do it their way using their practice management system and think that it's enough, but it actually isn't. A strong delivery engine includes standard operating procedures so that your team knows exactly how to deliver the service, defined workflows and task sequences, quality checkpoints, client expectations, clear roles and responsibilities within the file. That's so important. Without structured delivery, firms rely heavily on individual lawyers, which can create inconsistency and bottlenecks. Remember that your individual lawyers have come from other firms and they've had different training to what you have had or expect from your team. So systemized delivery improves both the client experience and profitability, and it reduces bill and service complaints. No one wants bill and service complaints, right? Definitely not me, that's for sure. Next up, we've got the next engine room, which is the client experience engine. So this is how clients perceive and interact with your firm. Client experience is shaped by every interaction, not just legal outcomes. So what this engine includes is communication standards and response times, onboarding and offboarding processes so that nothing gets forgotten, regular updates and expectation setting, and systems for collecting reviews and feedback. Firms that actively design their client experience reduce friction and generate raving fans, which leads to a stronger referral network and repeat work, which is exactly what you want in your law firm. Next up, number 5, we have team and people. So this is the team and people engine. This is how your team performs, develops, and stays accountable. A law firm cannot scale without a capable and accountable team. This engine includes defined roles and position descriptions, performance metrics and KPIs, regular structured meetings such as a weekly scorecard, which is one of the trainings that I did at LawBizCon and also in my program, and training and leadership development. So when this engine is weak, everything flows back to you, the owner, and decision making becomes centralized and growth is slow. High performing firms build teams that operate independently within a really clear framework. Next up, our sixth engine room is the financial and data engine room. So this is how your firm measures performance and makes decisions. Revenue alone isn't enough to understand business health. It is a lagging indicator, right? The engine includes weekly scorecard tracking, which is a leading indicator, revenue, profit, cost analysis, profit and loss on each producer and each service type, conversion rates and cost per acquisition of clients, work in progress, and cash flow tracking. Firms that rely on monthly or quarterly reviews or annually, which used to be me years ago, often react too late because they're relying on lag indicators. It's too late. Those things have happened in the past and you can't fix them. So that's why we need weekly indicators and scorecards. Weekly tracking really helps identify issues early and they support informed decision making. So our seventh engine room is our systems and operations engine room. This is how the business runs behind the scenes. Is it chaos or is it a well-oiled machine? This is the most overlooked engine room in many law firms. It includes an internal SOPs library, so for everything on how to run your firm, documented processes for recurring tasks, automation where appropriate, clear internal communication styles, and we need to ensure that everything in your firm is set up as a process so that it's easy to follow if anyone ever leaves. Your practice management software alone does not fulfill this function, like at all. In fact, sometimes you need to have manuals and SOPs in order to use your practice management software and how it's to be used properly. Operational systems reduce decision fatigue and they create consistency across your firm. So it doesn't matter if you are there or not. So this is a great way of relieving yourself from being the bottleneck in your firm. Now, finally, our eighth engine room is the leadership and decision-making engine. How direction and accountability are set in your firm happens here in this vision and leadership engine. This is often the hidden engine, but it really does impact all the others. And the other thing I find as well is that law firm owners don't spend enough time in this engine room. They might come to LawBizCon, for example, where we're doing some vision work, or they might get a leadership coach or something like that. But other than that, they're not even visiting this engine room each month, and that's really detrimental. So this engine room includes clear business goals and priorities, structured leadership meetings, defined decision-making frameworks, and accountability across leadership roles in the firm. Without this engine room, firms operate reactively, and with it, they operate intentionally, which is so important. So those are your engine rooms. Now, it's a great idea to go around this engine room and mark out of 1 to 5 where you're at. So with your client acquisition engine room, is it poor and not working that well, or is it humming like a well-oiled machine? So 1 to 5, 1 being not great, 5 being amazing, and 2, 3, and 4 scaling up. So where are you at when it comes to client acquisition, 1 to 5? And go through all of the engine rooms and work out where you're at in your law firm, 1 to 5. So where are you at with client acquisition? Where are you at with intake and conversion? Is that a 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5? Where are you at with legal service delivery and client experience? Then we've got team and people. We've got finance and data. We've got the systems and operations engine room. And then finally, we've got the leadership and vision engine room. And it's really interesting to be able to give yourself a score so that you can work out where you are at with it. Now, I'm going to leave a link in the show notes so that you can go through and have a look at the graph that I've got, and you can do some work around it. I might even leave a worksheet link here for you as well, because that can really help you to identify where you're lacking in your firm and what's really working well. Because where you're lacking is where you need to spend some time so that you can really improve your firm and getting your firm working like a well-oiled machine. So it's similar to getting your car serviced, right? Identifying where the issues are in the engine and then working it out. So if you need more oil, topping all of that up. And so identifying where you're at right now with your law firm engine is exactly what you need to do. It doesn't matter what stage of your business you're at, whether you're at the very beginning or whether you've been practicing for 20 years in your law firm. Our engines always need tuning and tweaking. So I encourage you to do that and go onto my website. There's heaps of resources there. And most of all, if any of your engine rooms are dull and need a little bit of sprucing up, then we are more than happy to offer you a free growth call where you can talk about what is happening for you and where you need help. Because at Scalable Law, we help you with all of these engine rooms so that your law firm can hum like a well-oiled, what's an amazing car? Porsche? Like a well-oiled Porsche or like a well-oiled Ferrari. Depending who you are, who's listening in, as to what car you would like. But wouldn't you love your car to be going like that? Wouldn't you love your law firm to be revving like that? I certainly want that for you. So head on over and check it out or book a call with one of our team. Great catching up. Great to have you tuning in today, and we will be back on next week. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to the Scalable Law Podcast, brought to you by the Scalable Business Lounge. If you would love to know how you can get more clients without relying on referrals, head over to scalablelaw.com to watch my free masterclass. Until next time, you have got this.